2026 World Cup has never looked so dangerous like this very tournament of 2026. If you to look at 2022, that season, of course, has been, yes, a little bit easy, but this time around, it looks very tough. Some of the groups faces the toughest ever, like the group of Senegal, Group I, got a very, very tough, of course, a team there. So let's just dive into that, the groups, and look at some of the teams that can actually make it to the next round, to the knockout stage. This is my opinion. I will be giving you, seeing some of the possible nation that I think, or that I expect, of course, based on their history, to make it to actually the knockout stage. So let's look at Group A, that got the team, of course, from the host nation, Mexico. Yes, itself, of course, Mexico is a host, and of course, you know that having that home vibe will make them being powerful. Some of the hosts don't want actually to quit. We saw last time what happened, yes, with the host nations Qatar there. They tried to push, but though they did not make it further, but can Mexico actually make it out of this group? Yes, let's look at that. And of course, we got Mexico, South Korea, Chess, and South Africa. Now, in this very group, if you look at some of the teams that I expect, of course, to see that they make it through the knockout stage. It's Mexico, number one, of course, then South Korea. Because nowadays, if you look at the Asian football, South Korea has proven to be a very, very tough team there. Yes, chess, of course, equally is a European nations, and also they're a little bit organized, but we can see the physicality of South Korea. They are really very physical guys there. See, they push and they know how to play these things actually to the expectations. Looking at South Africa, yes, they have also ability, of course, to surprise the team, but of course, they may face consistent difficulty. If you look at South Africans' performance, yes, it has not been to the top notch compared to other teams. So in this very group, they may face it rough, and I see the possibility of them not making up to the knockout stage. That is according to me, looking at their performance there, because this is a stronger group. Mexico is not easy. You look at South Korea, it's also not a very easy team. Yes, they have physicality then compared to the South African group, yes, that we have been saying. So in Group B, we got Switzerland, Canada, Bosnia, and Qatar. Now, in this group, of course, Qatar still remains unpredictable and cannot be overlooked. We saw what happened last time to actually Qatar. And then Bosnia also returned hungry to prove themselves, of course, all the world biggest stage. Yes, Bosnia surprises. In fact, it surprised one of the teams that we expected the team to make it to the World Cup, but they did not make it. Yes, they failed to actually beat Bosnia. So Bosnia proves to be very stubborn, and of recent, you see how they perform in this friendly match. And then Canada, of course, it looks a little bit energized, of course, and the home support being the host, of course, you know that they will be having a big vibe there. And Switzerland, of course, you can see the repetitions, and of course, mostly they are consistent when it comes to all these international game. Yes, a tournament. Switzerland always don't quit early. So in this very stage, of course, very Group B, I expect to see that Switzerland make it, in Canada. Yes, these are my two teams that I believe would progress to the next stage there. Yes, of course, now we're going to Group C. Yes, Group C got Brazil. That is a 5 times champion in this World Cup. Yes, Brazil took it 5 times. Can they make it the 6th this time around? Let's look at that. Of course, Morocco as well has proven shocked the football world with their, of course, historical run in 2022 when they bet, of course, Portugal there. And of course, they remain a dangerous side. We saw yesterday, of course, also they drew against Norway there when Diaz scored the solid goal in first half to make, of course, Morocco share points with Norway there. So The third one is Scottish, also returned to this World Cup with, of course, the positions and energy, and of course the fan base. Yes, most of these country nation will be having a very many fun because they're just within, and also Etap is a underdog that we expect, of course, to see that they also produce something unexpected. They made history. Can they also surprise, of course, in this very group? So it might take in this very group C, I see Brazil and Morocco making this to the next round. Yes, that is in Group B. Group A, of course, already given you that might take what I expect to see Mexico and South Korea make it in Group A. Now, Group C, of course, that is Group D rather. Of course, Group D got United States, Turkey, Austria, and Paraguay. Now, this group looked tricky. Yes, I can say this group looked tricky. And I don't know between Turkey and Australia who actually will walk home. Now, if you're to look at United States, also I believe that they have that golden opportunity. Yes, I watch the police car, they're playing, they got good squad, very organized. So attacking, they are very organized, United States. Yes, compared to that England squad that I watched racing. Yeah, and then Turkey, of course, being one of the most underrated team, of course, in this tournament. But I believe Turkey can do still a wonder in this very tournament. Australia, of course, continue to exceed, of course, expectations when it comes to World Cup. People don't think that Australia can actually make it. Now, in this very group, of course, I expect to see United States and Turkey making it, but also the potential surprise, I see Australia can also still make it. It's just a potential, but my take is Turkey and, of course, United States making it to the knockout stage there. Now, go to Group E, which got Germany, Ecuador, Ivory Coast, and of course, Cacaos. Yes, Curacao. Yes. Now, this group also look a little bit tricky because it's having the African giant there. Yes, the African champion they have ever taken, of course, that is Ivory Coast, which actually have enough talent to challenge this very season, to challenge in this very tournament as well. They shock actually last time of beating the other team 2. Yes, France, they are 2-1. Can they do it in this very competitive game now? Now, Germany should also enter this group with a clear favorites. Of course, you know, Germany is very organized compared to this other team, Kukar. So I expect us to see them making it to that very tournament. And then Ecuador steady developed in one of the South America, of course, their most dangerous team. We saw yesterday, they also bet Guatemala 3-0 there. So they look a little bit organized. And in this very group, it's going to look very tricky. Yes, I can say Germany and Ecuador to make it, but Ivory Coast also I put as a potential upset. Yes, I'm not saying they're leaving, but it's a potential they can make it. But my two pick is Germany and Ecuador. Now in Group F, we got Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, yes, and Tunisia. Now, if you look at Netherlands performance, a few days ago, of course, in that competitions where they drew, looks a little bit, they have not yet picked up that shape, of course, that formations, yes, to challenge in this very tournament. But of course, they are with Japan, which actually hand respects across the world of football. They're very, very disciplined. If you're to look at Japan, I watched the other 2022 actually World Cup. They proved to be a very, very difficult team to play against. And of course, they got a very, very fearless performance. They do actually perform very well. They don't fear whether you're a giant. For them, they come with one mentality to make it, to win the game. Yes, and then Sweden's bring also vulnerable experience. If you to look at the like of Shaka, is Shaka there, and of course the likes of that is for Arsenal player Victor Gyökeres there. They're also doing quite well. But in this very group, Tunisia, also we got African country there. We prove also time to gain much. But of course, in this very group, I still take on Netherlands and Japan to make it to the next level. But of course, I see Sweden also could be actually also surprised. But also in the same thing, I believe Japan may even top up in this very group. Yes, can be on top of Netherlands if they don't watch closely. Yes, should they relax, Netherlands can even quit in this very group stage. Yes, they have to tighten up their belt to make it to the next, of course, right. And then the group G is Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. So this look a little bit easy, but also difficult. But I can see that Belgium can make it out of this. Yes, and then also Egypt, I expect also them to make out of this. But Iran also is not easy. They're coming with that spirit to win the game. Yes, to show the world they exist. They know football as well. So Iran may prove to be difficult, but I believe that Salah may lead their, of course, group to the knockout stage there. So the potential upset, of course, in this very group, I say it's Iran. Yes, can surprise. But my take, of course, is Belgium and Egypt there. In Group H, we got Spain, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, and Cape Verde. Now, this very group also, I'm seeing it's going to be fair, but not a little bit tight. Spain got to happen, is the strongest team, having David Raya in the goalkeeper, and then also they got very, of course, a good player. If you look at Spain, got a very organized Morata. It's there. I mentioned them, but of course they got a very organized team compared to others, and Spain standing up in earth, disturbing people in this very cup. Now, Uruguay combining experience, but of course they have that traditional attacking, of course, quality in their club. But I don't know right now if Uruguay can make, because I'm saying Cape Verde may be a very disturbing team this very season, and of course also Saudi Arabia, who shocked actually last time Argentina in that very football. They defeated Argentina there on nil. So I don't know this time around whether Saudi Arabia will outshine this very, of course, in this very group. So I expect to see Spain and Cape Verde, according to me. But also, I can put Uruguay to be upsetting others. But I know Cape Verde may make it to the other. Then in Group I, which got the toughest, I can say the toughest. You can't have France. You can't have the African champion 2020, of course, 6, Senegal, Norway, and Iraq in one group, in Group I. So France got, of course, remain one of the strongest squad. I said it, of course. And then Senegal also became the African elite nations that we know. And Norway possesses world class. And of course, you know that Ele Allen is there to help the squad as a captain of Norway there. So we would also be looking, they made history. They want to also show that they exist. Rack there with the confidence and momentum. So in this very group, I'm going with France and Senegal to make it. But a disturbing one, maybe Norway also to make it there. But I believe Sadio Mane may lead, of course, his colleagues to the next, of course, knockout stage. And then in Group J, that has, of course, Argentina, Austria, Algeria, and Jordan. So this one looks a little bit Argentina, as I hope they will move further than, of course, in this knockout stage. So I expect to see Argentina make it, of course, and Australia. However, among this, of course, it looks not easy, but I can also give Algeria to be disturbing. But mighty takes Argentina and Australia. Probably Algeria, I give it third position there. Group K, which has Portugal, Colombia, DR Congo, and of course, Kazakhstan. Yes, here. I'm going with 2, Portugal, and then Colombia to be a very tough one. My dear brother can also be a surprise there. but of course it cannot dictate. Bastians also, it's not an easy team. So this team, but this team between Dick RC and the Bastians, it's only Congo that will prove to be a little bit stubborn there. Now, let's look at the last group of the day. Of course, is all that is England, Croatia, and Ghana. Palma there. So if you're to look in this group, I expect to see England make it out to the knockout stage and Croatia there. But also we shall keep a good eye at Ghana there to also make it to the next stage there. Yes, so of all these in group, of course, I look at that to be a very, very tough group. So if you look at all these groups that we have exhausted, which of the teams we expect, of course, we see as if they got the upper hand of making it through the group stages. I've listed them. Thank you so much for listening to Etap Football there. God bless you and stay tuned for more part as we start on for more tech on the game for Thursday.